Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera. Today we're going to finish the skeleton of the floor. That's what we're going to do. I have quite a bit of it done now. We'll go over it after I sort of have it finished up. Let's go over to the other. I'm going to go to the other side. Jolene's going to do what she's going to do. I want to thank everybody for coming back. We really appreciate it. We really do. We're going to finish this skeleton of the floor up right before your very eyes, and then we'll go over the whole thing. I've got a mount, or two mounts right here. I have to deal with them, and I'm going to deal with them right here, right now. We have the tunnel pieces connected. Now I'm going to connect the cross member from this square stock to that square stock. I just had a gentleman in saying that, man, you use a lot of square stock and round rod and all that sort of stuff. And yes, I do. And the reason, I'm going to explain the reason why I do. The reason I do is because I can come in and bend that, bend that and put a rib across there. Yes, I can. I can do the exact same for that. I can do the exact same for that. I can do whatever. The reason I do not go there is because how quick is it for me to grab a piece of square stock that's got strength for me to cut it off and put it in? That's the only reason why I go there. I can go and make a cross member like you have in a rib in a truck or rib in a car. I can make that bend and then put it in and cut it out of sheet metal. Yes, I can. But why would I want to make all that when I can do that and get the exact same job done? Basically, that's why I use the metal that I use. Every piece of metal that I have in here, I've scrounged it from what I have and what we bought in here just a little bit ago, what we have to get it done. I probably could have used the different pieces in different places, but I did not because I did not have it, and I use what I have. So let's put this mount in here. I've got a measurement right here I want to put in. This is the two mounts right here that we have. I have to put a piece in across there. The tunnel is where I'm going to connect it to. And that piece tells me it's going to have to be 26 3/4 long. So I'm going to cut a piece 26 3/4. Get my gloves on. We want to thank everybody for coming back. We appreciate it. Yes, we do. Now, anybody can do, I keep saying that, anybody can do what I've done here, and we'll go over it before we shut her down. We'll go over it all and talk about it, and that way there, you can. That way there you can do it. There's one thing watching, and then there's another that's making it happen. Now I have this piece in here. Basically, I know where this piece has to go because them two mounts tell me exactly where it's got to go. You heard me. I know where it's got to go because them two mounts are telling me that. Generally, I say, or I tell you that the car tells you what it needs. And this car right now needs these two mounts finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark at the end of the mount. So I got the holes here, I'm marking at the end. I want to plunk that washer, there's a washer on top of that rubber. I want to plunk the washer on there. And when I mark that, at the end of that, I know the washer begins there. That's where the washer begins there. The end there, that's where the washer begins there, and I put two marks on it. So now I got two washers, and now when I put my washer on, I put it at the end of that mark, and I know it's going to fit. Got to clean these washers up. I had to go dumpster diving to get them, but I got them. Good rule of thumb is to throw nothing away until you're done. so I have my piece, and I've got it marked. Does not matter where I put them on, but I've got it marked. I'm going to put my hole in the center of my square stock. Let's put it on. Let's do it. Not used to the tape measure. You have to press the button to let it back in. I'm not used to that. Just kind of not used to that. Not used to it. All right, we got that one at that mark. Just got the hole in the center. That's basically what I want. Want that washer to stay in place. That's my, gonna sit on top of my mount. Weld them there so they cannot move. And if you want to build a factory looking style floor and do the exact same thing I'm doing, you're more or less just taking that square stock, using the exact same, procedure, but you're making cross ribs out of 18 gauge or 20 gauge or whatever you want to use. That's what's happening. So now I've got my washers in place. I've got to drill my holes, and then I've got to cut my rubbers. Let's do it. And who's to say what's right or wrong? As me and Jolene talked this car over, this car would be junk if I did not fix it. Would be junk. I hope it's got a couple more holes. It didn't sound like it. Just gonna get some penetrating fluid there, just try to take off the thing. I got the best filmer in the business, Jolene. She is the best. And any YouTube station around, she is the best. Mark my words. Do you know how I know this? Somebody that was just in just told me. She's the best in the business. The rest of them don't compare. Just putting it up on that vice grip so I don't go through the cement. Might be the last hole for that one. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Show me. One more hole. One more hole. One more hole. Come on. Here we go. Alrighty, we got our holes drilled. Flapper the sharp stuff off. Now, on this, I'm going to work. Nope, it's too high. Is that going to work for that side? Ooh. Nope, too high. All right, let's knock this one down a little bit, just a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut that because it's just hard to cut. I'm just going to take it off with the flapper disc. See what we got. Did you get that from there? You're a badass. She's a badass. I'm not sure if that has to come down more. One mount is higher than the other. This one's higher than this one. This one's welded down for the frame. So each mount has to be made accordingly. I think I have to take a little bit more off that one, get that down. Or I know I do. Take a little more off it. Good feeling to have the floor damn near in place. That's a good feeling. Now we need to get one on this side. I have to take a look at it, see what kind of, it might even be the one for this side. Who knows? Let's get another one. Let's do another one. Oh, there's the original one down there on the floor. Now, I want to cut another one, and I do not want to get too close to the saw. I'm going to try to cut another one, and we'll see how it goes. Take the gloves off. Nope, I'm going to cut it. And the reason being, I want to. Awesome. Just kind of iron her up. Just trying to make that fit in there so it fits right. I'd say that's pretty good. To be honest with you, I can push down that a little bit, give me a little bit of pressure. I'm going to weld that in there. We'll go over the floor after I get this tacked in here and a few more pieces tacked in. We'll go over the whole thing and talk about it. I don't know. Talking. Let's do this. There. Nope. Just going to put this in the middle. The rubber can be moved at any time, but I want to tack this in place. I need a little more off that. I need a little bit more. I can't do it. Can't do it. Just going to center it up, grab a hole. One tack, like I say, it's holding it for you, and then two tacks, it's in place. I'm going to tack this again. Just because I'm putting pressure on it. I want to put pressure on the mounts just so I know I have, what do I know I have? looks good. On this floor here, I basically am trying to keep it as simple as possible. The reason I'm keeping it as simple as possible, because I do not want it to take forever. And why wouldn't I? Alrighty. Just like that, we have our mounts put in place. We're going to talk about the floor for a second, and then I'm going to do a couple other things to finish it, or to get it where I want it. On this floor, if you can see from that side, we have our mount back here. We haven't got anything in there yet. We can either take in, I try to put a bolt down through it. I can't get a bolt down through it because it hits the top. So I'll probably end up shoving a bolt up through it, putting a nut on it, and welding the nut to the top. So you'll have to undo the bolt at the bottom, and the nut will stay stationary because the floor is going to cover it. On this one here, I don't know if, I don't think I really want the hole coming up through the floor. I'd rather probably just put a bolt down through it, weld it there, and then shove it down so you can nut it at the bottom. That'd be fine, whatever. You do it whatever way you want to. So we have that mount dealt with. We have these two mounts dealt with. These two mounts are dealt with on that side. All right, let's start with the square stock. The square stock I put in here is for the back of the seat. I did a measurement. That's how far out that I think I need for the back seat to set on. So that tells me that's why I put that one in. This bar's in here is for the mount in the back. This one here is for the end of the height of the seat for the back seat. This one underneath, this bar here going across, is the one for, so I can put metal across here and I could connect my tunnel. Because this has got to raise up here in the back seat. This is where your floor is, and that's why that's there. When I come up front here, I cut it off, or we cut it off, me and Doug, we cut it off straight. So what I did is, on this one, I want it to, all of the square stock that I put in the car, I do not want to get underneath the car and see square stock, the end of a piece of square stock open, or a piece cut off and just hanging there, anything like that. I tried to finish everything. So when I did this one, I cut a piece out of this mount here. I took that square stock and stuck it in there and welded it there. So the end of the square stock is hard against this and welded to this mount. It comes across the floor. You cannot see, when you look underneath the car, you cannot see the floor because the square stock is hiding the cut. So when I run the square stock along, I ended it in here. When I put that there, I put a little piece down here, I pulled it out, I just tacked it, pulled it out, made that fit, and I welded this all together here and ground it off on the floor, and then welded it down. We've taken a piece of square stock and added it here to the bottom of the tunnel, and we went all the way back to what we have to on the back, the square stock that holds a piece of metal that comes down from the seat. We welded here to give us the shape of our tunnel. The tunnel is held in place by this little piece of square stock on this heavier stuff. That is the seat riser. This piece here has to be cut out because this is where the drive shaft tunnel is. Your drive shaft will be able to go all the way up to here. This little piece will be cut out. On the drive shaft, or on the tunnel of the drive shaft, when I was looking at the top piece, it was round. To make something round, I do not have anything that's this long. It's pretty near it's a little bit over 5 feet. I didn't have anything to make anything round. So I want to simplify it and I want it to make it square, because if you look at it, how easy is it to make this panel? How easy is it to make that panel? Exactly with this. So what I did is I took some flat bar and I welded on this side, on the top, and down this side. Give me that tunnel and squared it off for me. Now I can run a piece of flat bar is what I had. I did not want to take square stock and run it up in here, because where was I going to end it? Like what was I going to do to the end of the square stock when it come up here? There was a, it's 3/4 of an inch thick. So that's why I used the flat bar across here, and I put a piece of flat bar on there, because there's nothing that you're going to see that's not finished. That ran all the way back to the top of the seat riser to give me the height of the tunnel to miss the transmission, the emergency brake, and the drive shaft. I'm thinking that it's much easier to make this piece than it is to try to make the whole thing round in the front and the whole thing round in the back, when I don't even know what I'm supposed to actually have going back. So I let this dictate where I started, and I let the drive shaft dictate where I want the square stock to end in the back. I just looked down there, and I didn't measure it, I didn't do anything like that. I just looked down in there, I got enough on this side, I got enough on this side, and I put it in there. I basically looked at the drive shaft tunnel, what I had on before, it was about that wide in the back. Basically, I did the exact same thing. On the top here, the square stock did not work, so in went the flat bar. I haven't got anything to bend a piece of metal over the edge of that, so if I have to weld along that edge, that's fine. It's a 1/8, and I can go down from down. I can make it out of 3 pieces just as well as one. On this side, I don't know if Jolene can see it or not. You might want to come over this side, huh?
I can see.
Okay. On this side, I did the exact same thing. I tacked 1, 2, just put a couple tacks on it. Bring a piece down on the side here, put a couple tacks on it. Bring a piece over here, and went around that gas pedal. I just tack, 1, 2, tack, tack. And I made this piece. Didn't make this piece, just made this. And then I pulled it out and I welded it all up. And the reason I did that, I went around the gas pedal, because there's a mechanism underneath that gas pedal. That gas pedal runs right underneath this floor right here, and I couldn't chop it off to get underneath that because it would affect the gas pedal. So what I did is I square stocked it, ran it over into the side of this, so you cannot see the end of the square stock. Ran it over straight with this, because now you cannot see where the metal's cut off. This part here was where it's open and not welded to the gas pedal. What's going to happen is, this is welded to the tunnel, but the gas pedal is going to come out someday, and I'm going to make a nice piece of metal that welds on the top of this square stock, and then put my gas pedal back in, because it has 4 bolts right there. They look crusty. Then I got the right height that I can set that gas pedal right back down on there. I can make one nice little piece and put that in brand new. So I decided to leave the gas pedal for now. This piece, if you noticed, this piece here is raised up, like it goes up like this. If you look at the piece on the other side, it goes up on an angle. And what's going on is, the edge of the car, once the sill comes in, the floor comes up on an angle, and then must went across. That's what I'm guessing. There was ribs in it and all that stuff, but we're not going there. We're just going to put a flat floor in it, because it's going to be easy. But in order for me to make a floor pan to come up and go across and go up this way, I'm thinking it's going to be easier if I connect this piece to this piece that I just put in on an angle. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to, like, this piece is for the sill. This piece has got an angle on it. I'm not interested in trying to make that down in here fit that. When I put something in there to fit that, I want to make it easy. So basically what I'm thinking is, if I got this piece coming up on an angle here like this floor here is, I'm going to connect this to this. This has got a mount in it. That's got a mount in it. We'll connect this to this. This is sort of on an angle too, obviously, because this mount, if you look at that one, is lower down than that one. So it's got an angle on it. Like, the mount that's inside the frame is higher than the one on the outside of the frame. So we're kind of rising up like that. So I'm going to connect this to this. I cannot do it with square stock, because I can, but I will not have a finished edge for the square stock to run into. Remember, I do not want nothing that's not finished on the edge. That when you go underneath the car, there's nothing that you're going to look into and see a piece of square stock that is not finished. Everything is either got welded to the piece of flat stock, or covered by a piece of square stock, or whatever. It's just kind of, it's got a finished look. So What I'm going to do is I'm going to weld a piece of 1/8 2-inch plate. I'm going to shape this. I can weld it all the way around this, and I can bring it straight back, and I can weld it to this. Let's do it. Let's do it. This is a brake line that probably is not going to be there after a while. We got it leaking now. I probably sat on it or something. Had a little bit of rust there, but it is what it is. Also, you can see that I got my tail lights down through the middle of the floor, and now I'm going to have to disconnect them. Wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go about there. $41.5. Let's cut that. I have a piece of 2-inch by 1/8. You think I can pick that up? All right. What did I say? 41.5, sweetheart?
I didn't hear you.
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
That's all right. I love you just as much anyways. We'll just cut it 42. Who knew? 42. Oh, this grinder. We can get a feller going with it. We can pick this metal up off the floor. Need 2 of them. I might as well cut it. May as well. One on that side, I guess. So I got one for this side, and I'm not doing it with square stock. The reason being is because I cannot end it off anywhere that's going to look nice. So I'm just going to put that there. Right. Running along the frame straight. Get me trusty marker. I'm going to run it straight along with the frame. Draw this. We're going to cut that out and add that to the edge of that. It'll give me a little bit of tilt. There's a little bit of tilt on this, and we should be able to match them up. Ends up on that. You can see how when I put that on the edge there, it's going to be ended. When you look up beneath the floor, there's nothing that's going to be look not finished. All right, let's turn the welder on. Let's get it in line with the frame. That's what I'm going this thing back with that. It's going with the line of the frame. I'm going to tack it on. We're in line with the frame. Seems like I might be a little bit shy. Could bring that back some. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Just means there's good penetration, that's all. I'm going to tack this in the front. Good. I'm going to wind this down the back. The floor can sit on my floor. When I put my piece in there, now we have a piece that's going to hold anything. I can tack it to it, or I can put one piece here, and then I can put a ninth piece over there, whatever. Either or, but I want this piece in there. I got a little bit of a gap going on there. Instead of me trying to, you know, play there and try to get that done, I'll go back and forth. Looks good. It's going to end that little sharp spot because I probably don't want anything sharp there. Don't need it, not necessary. Going straight with the frame. We also need a place for the seat to bolt down. I had them. I'm going to come to the other side and put the other side in, or maybe I should just finish this side. I cut a piece of thicker stuff. I don't know if I need thicker stuff. That piece. When we did the car, I had a measurement of where the seat bolted down. I cut the sill out on that one, kind of probably not the greatest idea before I put the seat bolt in or bracket in, because I had a measurement. Tape measures up here. I must have one up here. I have another one. From this hole, 7.5. So our seat bracket's out here. There's where our seat bracket's on this side of the frame. I knew that when I did that. $16.5. And the center, 16.5 is the center for the seat. So I need a little piece here. I'm also going to run a piece from here to there. I'm going to use a little wider stuff, and that way there I can connect that to the floor. Let's do this. Actually, I may use the wider stuff anyways. Give me more, what can I say? Allow more of a mistake. If I, when the seat goes down in, if I'm not right in the exact spot, if I have a 3-inch piece instead of a 2-inch piece, I have an extra inch to allow for a mistake. That makes sense. And we all make mistakes. That's how we learn. 5 1/8. I'm coming over, sweetheart. That piece there is for that side. 5 1/8. There's my tape. I don't know if that seems right or not. It seems like short, but that's what, I think that's what the measurement told me. Not bad. Good. Put that in the center of that. We'll weld that in there. This is for the seat. You would never want to bolt your seat down to just an 18 gauge floor. You never want to do that. You want to have some kind of inside construction going on. Yes, you would. Good. Awesome. Bigger gap on this side. That's fine, we handled it. We handled it. That's in. Need one for the back. Need one for the back. Doesn't look like I put that in there real straight, does it?
Looks beautiful.
Looks beautiful? Oh, baby, I love you so much. You're so good to me. You're so good to me, baby. You're so good to me. All right, let's do another one here. I'll have to cut it to 17 and a half. See. Joey said it looks beautiful. 17 and a half. I'll have to cut this one again. The reason being that tunnel square stock is on an angle, and I wanted just a little bit more. gonna leave that there, so I'm gonna be cutting there. There's no seat bracket going in. The seat bracket's here and here. There's nothing inside here because it's over there. But I really want to put this piece in to connect it to my floor pan. And I'm going to put that, should have brought my marker, should have known better than that. Should have known better than that. So I want to connect this to my floor pan underneath. I wouldn't want to make that great big pan like that and have nothing to connect it to. I really want to, you know, put some strength to it. And the more, like when I put a piece on here, put that piece on there, it's really going to be hard to bend that piece that's straight, or that looks good there. That's the line I was talking about. I did not know if I... See, it's on an angle, because of whatever. Not measured anything, not really, you know, the floor is just going in where it needs to go, I guess, basically. So we'll tack this here. Awesome. We'll put that across there like so. I'll wait for Jolene's words. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Huh?
Good.
Awesome. Good?
Great.
One more time.
Perfect.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Perfect. Alrighty. Grind the heads of that off. Now we have the back of the seat. So I'm just going to take a measurement off the seat. I'm going to get a third tape measure. Jeez, should have brought it back with me. Should have brought it back with me. Alrighty, back of the seat. There's a hole there and a hole there, and it tells me from hole to hole, we'll say it's 11, but it's probably 10 3/4. So I'm just measuring the hole on the seat. You can see right there, right there. I'm thinking I got the first one basically where it needs to go. So I'm just measuring center, 10 3/4. So if I measure the center from this, center there. Wish I had that tape measure that didn't fold up now, don't I? Center that, 10 3/4. That's the center of our next piece. And we need it to be 5 1/4. I won't forget the tape this time, will I, baby? Huh? I'll take it back this time, won't I? welder on. Knock that off. Let's do this. We'll make it a little bit long, 18 and a half. So the brackets we're putting in now, or the ones are now, they do not need to be there, but I really want to spot weld that floor to them brackets going across. The ones that are going from the square stock, the small ones are where the hole is for the seat. More telling myself than anything. Repeat for me. Look good?
Yes. It looks good.
Not as good as you. Not as good as you. And I don't think it much matters, like if it's off a little tiny bit. Let's face it, this is the underneath the floor. The only way you would ever see anything is if you're on a hoist or if you're upside down in the ditch, and it really doesn't much matter because I don't think you'd even tell then. So for me to put these in with not measuring from there to there and there to there and square it, and like, you can if you like. You can if you like, but don't hold it against me if I don't. Can if you want to. Can if you want to. Does that look good and straight, baby? You tell me when.
It looks good.
Looks good? As long as that flush there, that's all I need. Good. Just buzz that off. That was 16 and a half, was it not? Coming to the other side, let's finish this bad boy. While we're on it, let's finish it. Let's do it. And after I get the floor lined where I'm going right now, at the present moment, what I'm doing right now, once I get this last few pieces in, then I'm able to make panels. And once again, I'm going to do it and make it as easy as possible. Easy as possible. That looks good. That looks good. If you're watching right now, throw in a comment or a like or a share for Jolene's fabulous work. I've been told twice today that she is the best. You know what I said? I know. I know. All right, we got this piece here that I can't pick up. Ain't that something? Get her zip cut. Throw in a like or share for Jolene. She's the best. And we don't mess with the rest. Now on this one here, I just went with the edge of the frame. That's what I did with the other one on the other side. Just going with the edge of the frame. And I come up here with my marker I left on the other side. Hi, Fina. You're such a fabulous dog. Yes, she is. Alrighty. Put that in there like so. Put that in there like yay. Awesome, they both fit about exactly the same. Straight with the frame. It's good. It's good, good, good. My favorite grinder. Gap going on, that's fine. Beautiful. Just throw that there, I guess. No harm, no foul. Good. Do the exact same thing on this side. Got a good sized gap again, but that's okay. Don't want that high. And knock it down with a hammer I haven't got. Just got one tack on, it was hot there, so we should bend down. Really? I'm not going to cut it right off. There we go. Happy with that. Put this back on. This one a little more sensitive because you got the old metal. That's okay. Grind that off. Let's knock this down a little bit on this side. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I'm still not happy with that one there, so I'm going to knock this one on and then cut that one off. Now I can get it down where I want it. There we go. Now I'm happy. Alrighty, a shot in this corner. I'd like to knock that off, but we haven't got time for that one right this present moment. We'll do this. 16 and a half, I thought it was. Half. Need this grinder. Sort of want to get it lined up with the other side would be nice. See what happens. Do the best we can do. A little shy again. Too high? Yep. That's nice. And then you just put it on there like that. Awesome. Awesome. Pick that up where it's supposed to be. Huh. Nope. I want to. Bring it over this way just a little bit. Yeah, this bob there. Go as quick as I can here. Let's do another one. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you, sweetie pie. Let's cut this one off. Let's do this. Wasn't sounding good there, was it? No. Weird, wasn't it? Weird. Awesome. All right, we've got another one to do. I forget the measurement. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it. Center to center. 10 3/4. Awesome. Looks good. Five 5/8. Gotta get a zip cut put on. No, just change grinders, that's all. Just change grinders. Ooh, that's nice. Cut this one off. And all I'm doing is eyeing this one up with the one across the street. That's all I'm doing. Good to me. Across the street here. It's good to meet. Oh, pick that up a little bit. Turn that back on. Got her hot. Got her hot. You'll never guess though. It's not as hot as Jolene. Hey baby, huh? Love my baby. Love my baby. And I love her because she's good to me. You know what I mean? She's good to me. Alrighty. Right there is, I mean, I got to polish them grinds, them welds off. I'm going to go to the other side. Right there, I'm considering the floor skeleton to be done. What can I say? I'm considering that done. And the reason being is this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a panel up here. I don't know if I'm going to make this panel out of one panel or two panels, but I can put a piece in between here. I can use a flat or I can use a square stock. I can make one panel for this side. You know, it's kind of a big panel to shove in, the big piece of metal to handle, so I might make it out of 2, make it easier. So I just run a piece of flat here, piece of flat there. One nice panel around here. I'll have to make a shape here, up against here, to this point. I get on this square stock, and I can nail it down to this one. Same on that side. On the front, there's a piece. I'm either going to, how am I going to do it? This is what I'm going to do here. This piece here will be another piece, and I'm going to have to put a 90 on the bottom of it. It's just a square flat piece with a 90. And the reason being is, when my floor comes back, I've got nowhere to set onto unless I want to put another piece in there. So I'll probably end up just building a flat piece, put a 90 on it. When I put my floor pan down, I can spot my floor to my 90. It's not going anywhere. This over here, this probably here will be one piece halfway on this. I'll probably run it halfway on this because it's going up like this. I don't feel like I want to make it difficult. That way there I can lay my piece of metal and get my piece of metal down in there, have no problems with it. One flat piece coming across here, halfway. And then I've got a nice section from here over that I can lay my panel on this piece. Then I have a panel on this piece, and I have a panel on that piece. So 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel, 4 panel, 5 panel, 6 panel, 7 panel. That will not do that once I get that metal on there. I could also even attach that up there if I wanted to, and I still can. But I think you get it. It's kind of flat, quick, strong, easy. Like there's nothing complicated about what I did. I've just kind of flattened everything off and made a panel so I can make a panel for everything. And basically you can do the exact same thing. So probably tomorrow we'll either start making some panels. I don't think I want to get into the sill yet because I want to walk in as far as I can get in. I think I might do the floor first and then panel the outside. But tomorrow you come back, we're more than likely making some panels for the floor to cover it in. And it's just as easy as that. So there you go. There's the skeleton of the floor. I want to thank everybody for coming back. We really appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of good words, a lot of good comments. Some awesome film work by Queen Jolene. Throw in a comment. Tell her how good she is. All right, everybody, have a great day. Come back tomorrow and we will be here. Like, subscribe, comment, all the stuff above. Have a great day.